Hello guys, this is the Blockchain Marketing channel. My name is Daria Volkova, and today I'm happy to introduce Mykhailo Adzhoiev. Mykhailo, hello.
Hi Daria, hi.
Mykhailo is a Solidity developer, and also he is managing his own development studio. So Mykhailo, I'm happy to see you, and I hope our conversation will be very useful and interesting for our listeners and our subscribers. So first of all, tell me please about your background.
Okay, so let's start from present. Currently, I'm a CEO of Cowchain. Cowchain is a software and blockchain development company with the main focus on EVM-compatible chains development. So we can cover full cycle, like a design, a front end, a back end, smart contracts development, database, graph, supporting maintenance. We're also doing a blockchain consultancies for our clients. We are about 1.5 years on the market. And during that time, we've completed more than 65 projects in different areas such as NFT, DeFi, move to earn, play to earn, any like custom solutions. And those projects was in different complexity and size. Some of them was like 2 weeks or like a year. So our huge clients at their top of course, on the bullish market, they had around 180 million market cap and 20 million of daily trading volume. And yeah, basically at the moment we have 15 people in a team. Most of them are developers and the managers. I'm personally at the very beginning, when we just started, I've been acting mostly like a CTO because I have 8 years of technical experience, and it was necessary for the company to start. And I code a lot, but then I realized that it's not possible to work in a company, to run it, to make it grow, and to code. So I'm spending a lot of time on it. That's why I made a decision to hire like a strong guys in the team, which is covering all the technical and management stuff. And currently, I'm focusing on a growing side to bring in more leads, to have good collaborations, and to have good partnerships. Yeah, I guess something like that.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's very interesting. Can you explain how did you switch to Solidity? How long did it take and why did you choose this direction? I mean, Web3, blockchain and Solidity.
The good question. It's like it's a story, because as I told, I have 8 years of development experience, and I started in 2015 as a trainee developer at some company which came to our university. I used to study in National Technical University in Kharkiv for system programming. And yeah, as usually in Ukraine, some huge companies coming to universities and taking best students to their entrepreneurships. So I came to that. I spent like 4 or 5 months as for trainee, and then they bring me the offer for the first job, and I declined it because my grandma told me, like, no, you cannot work. You are so young for it. Just
It's
spend
not
your
serious.
time. Yeah, it's not serious. Yeah, you just have to study and spend your time for friends, girls, basketball. So yeah, and yeah, you can. Yeah.
Great grandma.
Yeah, but I still was super motivated at this in IT area field. So I started my freelance work on Upwork platform. I spent a lot of hours, became a rising talent and top rated developer on it, and mostly I was taking like small task or small projects because I was so young and didn't have that experience to negotiate about the big money at that moment. So, and yeah, after that, after like 1.5, about 2 years, I've realized that I need to have a full-time job, but that was like, a mental gap between that I'm not really a good developer and I'm not really a good expert, so I cannot continue my work in a programming. So me and two of my friends, we had a strange decision, and we just take our clothes, some money, and we moved to Warsaw, Poland, to work on a building. Yeah,
Wow.
so the
Good
yeah.
decision.
Yeah, so construction work. Few of my friends there was also like they were also like IT guys, but that was like triple mental gap from all our ends. Those guys, by the way, currently they are team leaders and tech leaders and huge companies, but at that moment we all been in this gap. So yeah, we used to work for 3 or even 4 months. Then I broke my back, and we decided to get back to Ukraine. And it's still, and that was the first decision. I cannot work physically. Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, it's not for me.
It's enough,
And
enough.
yeah, enough physical work. Yeah. So, and the next strange decision was, yeah, I should go to work as a shisha guy, preparing those hookahs in the lounges to smoke people, because I used to smoke a lot at that time. So yeah, that was like my hobby. And yeah, and I had to work my first day on Monday, but during weekends I prepare it myself, because I told my grandma I'm going to work as a shisha guy. She told me like, yeah, are you crazy, man? You spent 3 months in Poland. I agreed for it because I was thinking you will change your mind and will go to work as a programmer, but you want to go to work as a shisha. No, let's prepare and let's see how it goes. So I prepared it, had my first interview in the morning on Monday, passed it, and got an offer. I accepted an offer, so I never came to work as a shisha guy. So yeah,
Lucky
and from
you.
that moment,
Lucky
yeah,
you. Yes.
yeah. So basically, my path started in 2015, but in 2017, it was like my very first office job. And during that time, that was quite straightforward, like junior, middle, senior. I was growing so fast. I became middle for the first 6 months and became a senior developer in a year or year and a half. So it was kind of quick one. And then we moving to the how I became a blockchain and a Solidity expert. So how I started. So at the company, my initial programming language, it was .NET C#. So it's a language for huge enterprises, for huge web or desktop or mobile solutions, depends. It's a Microsoft product. And some of the company is a famous insurance company. I cannot, I don't know my NDA, if it's still actual or not, but I cannot pronounce this name. But that's a huge insurance company, and they had an intention to use a blockchain and a smart contract to have a deals, to have a policies and agreements. It was 2019 or 2018, somewhere in here. And then I started investigating that thing. At that moment, I've already been working as a team leader at this company. I've been a team leader of auto insurance team, which was like 10 or 11 people in a team with me. And then, yeah, I started diving deep into smart contracts world and realized that, yeah, man, it's a future. And the crypto itself, cryptocurrency market was super bullish in that moment. It was like, it was growing like day to day, like hundreds of millions of dollars of the cap. So I realized that, that's something promising. And yeah, we didn't integrate it, a blockchain into insurance, but I got my first experience, which pushed me to go to freelance again and to work on projects to get the first experience of coding it for clients to realize what market needs. And during all that time, I used to dream about own my own company, because when you developer, when you team leader, doesn't matter. You still have a kind of a fixed amount that you can earn at the so like extremum of your salary in a month, and you don't have any point of growth except just moving from one to another company. But at my at my mind, it was like, if you're owner, you can grow your team, grow clients base, and earn more money to build the processes. I had those, leadership intention from my childhood, so it was kind of logical steps that I'm now. And why Solidity? The good question, I guess, because it was the most popular, because Ethereum was on that high, it was super hyped. There was no that much solutions, which brings smart contracts. There was no Solana, where it just started. There was like a starting of the Polygon Avalanche or the Binance Smart Chain, but that was not that popular. And Ethereum, it was the base, which is everyone talking about the smart contract stuff. So, and keeping in mind that I was like a senior developer and a team leader, I had a huge technical expertise. So it took for me to bring and dive really deep into Solidity. It took like 3 or 4 months of not that extensive. I mean, it's like a few hours per day of coding, of training, of working on freelance. So yeah, I guess it was quite fast because of experience. But yeah, and in 2021, I had my first 3 tries to own a company. I was trying to build some partnerships with some guys from my past, some guys from previous companies, to create my own. First company existed 2 days. The second company existed 1.5 months, and the next one existed 3 or 4 months. And after that, I realized that no, I should be a solo founder, at least at the moment, because I should keep control of everything, to push myself and to do not rely on people outside. Because if you rely on people, you just giving away your responsibilities, and that brings to the bad results and out of control. So yeah, and then I became a sole founder. I was hoping it will be a successful case, and now I can suggest it is a successful case, because we exist 1.5 year on the market. We're growing. We alive after those bearish market, after all things in the world, like IT dropping down, things in the world dropping down, people not investing, holding cash, all these things with FTX and Luna, and a lot of bad news. But we still in. We never stop it, and we just growing. So yeah, I guess that's something how I became who I am right now.
Yeah, I'm agree with you. Talking about blockchains and about blockchain protocols, which blockchain protocols do you consider the most promising for you personally, and why?
So the first thing is, of course, Bitcoin. Why Bitcoin? Is because Bitcoin only the one decentralized one, really decentralized one. The next is, of course, Ethereum. The reason why is because it's the first smart contracts, technical, having a huge attention and a huge community around, a lot of money on it, a strong team, and they also have a really promising roadmap of their growth for the next 5 years or so. And I really like ideas which they bring to the world. And in my ideal image of how blockchain should act, they have this in their very last step on their roadmap. So you can become a validator from your mobile phone. You can just handle others' transactions, and that's an honest system. And Ethereum will become a huge. Only the things they should scale, and they should work on transaction costs. But during their roadmap, they will resolve all these things. What else to consider? As I like Polygon. I like Polygon not because of strong technology, but because they have really promising partnerships very few last years. They partnered with Starbucks, some sport brands like Nike, Puma, and so I like the idea that they super cheap. Their transaction costs nothing, and they having a mass adoption already. So they having a partnerships with brands, which is having a millions people attention, and that's huge steps to mass adoptions, which I of course waiting like, but I guess it will be in the next 5-7 years, like a really mass adoption, probably 10, but not more.
I think it can be faster during these partnerships, because I read about they want to involve 1 billion people to Web3. So I think it may be faster, 3 years or 5 years. I hope, because I think they do really good marketing.
Yeah, I hope so as well. Yeah, I guess that's it. All other projects, to me, they are just adjusted copy of other projects which has or huge marketing campaigns like Aptos during last time, or like a good support by some famous names like Solana had before. So that's nothing really like super good at that. Yeah, so I guess that's about talking about the blockchain itself. I guess that's my top.
Yeah. I asked about infrastructure. And talking about blockchain projects or Web3 projects, what are you currently following, or what are you using now?
I use a lot of them, but my favorites at the moment is projects related to liquid staking derivatives, as projects that allows to stake Ethereum, for example. So as to have a general image of what that means, Ethereum migrated to proof of stake. So it means that in order to become a validator, you should stake your Ethereum at minimum. You should stake your 32 Ethereums, and Ethereum do not provide a date of unlock of your tokens. So it will be in a 5 years or 3 years, whatever. But they have updated in March, as they promising. It's called a Shanghai update. It's a part of search or something like that, say roadmap, because they have this merge, search, plurge, and those names. And in March, as a part of, if I'm not mistaken, search roadmap point, they have a Shanghai update when they will unlock, when they give a chance for validators to unlock their Ethereum and to get rewards daily. But there is a problem that in order to become a validator, you should have 32 Ethereums, and you should set up a whole infrastructure to set up a node, and it's really difficult. So liquid staking derivatives provides you a chance to purchase Ethereum from the market, put it on staking, as much as you have, like $1 and $1, 1 million and 1 million, doesn't matter. And then you're receiving back a derivative, like a staked Ethereum, for example. And then you can use this token in any DeFi protocols, like in Curve, Aave, or like whatever. And there are currently 3 projects which I'm following at this area. Is Lido, is the most capitalized project at the moment and most promising. And it's also Rocket Pool. It's the same as Lido, but it's more decentralized, but doesn't have that huge capitalization. And also Frax. And the Frax, it's not only about they have these liquid staking derivatives as a part of their ecosystem, but the Frax itself is also a good project because like they have a stable coins, they have lending protocol, and a lot of things around. So I guess those 3 projects that I'm actively following now. And I also like the idea of Lens protocol.
I like it.
Yeah. So it's like a social in a blockchain basis. It's a protocol for so you can build your social app on their infrastructure. And at our team, we also had a client which intention was to build a protocol on this. So yeah, kind of interesting one, and I guess promising, but interesting story about this Lens. It is founded by Aave founder. I don't remember the name, Stani Kulishov.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, and as they told on a web summit in Portugal last year, as they told that this idea was invented in a bus just randomly, like, hey, can we build some protocol for social platforms on the blockchain? And yeah, and they started. So that's interesting. I like those, those easygoing guys. So yeah.
You know that most people associate blockchain technology with crypto. It's not a secret. The crypto industry is unstable, unpredictable, and all these risks. So, how do you think this issue can be resolved? And is there a chance that people will start separating blockchain and crypto? What do you think?
Yeah, that's painful question. It's painful because people will never understand. Most of the people. I'm not talking about technical or marketing or people which is in industry from beginning or even now, because now we are in really early stage,
Yes,
super
yes.
early stage. So our like generation understand things about technology and about the finances. So what is the difference there? But future mass adoption will not bring any solution for it, because people will be wrapped out of technology at all. So they will have a lot of layers which they don't really need to understand how does it work. And it's like a bank, most of the people doesn't know like fintech works, like banks inside works, like so yeah, it's the same thing will be there. So people will not really understand what is blockchain. They will think like, yeah, blockchain, which I mostly heard, oh, it's a Bitcoin. Yeah, it's a Bitcoin. Yeah, don't worry. Don't try to think too much, because it's difficult to people. When I'm starting to explain all this decentralization stuff, it's becoming really complex, and people saying like, yeah, I will create an account on Binance and will buy Bitcoin. Is it the
Yes,
case? And
all
yeah, okay.
exchanges. All exchanges say you buy Bitcoin. All.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I guess this problem will not be resolved. So most of the people will be thinking about the crypto like a speculation, and things of not regulated currencies. But let's see how it goes in the future with CBDC stuff, because they will put a lot of regulation and restrictions on usage of crypto that will bring people to get more knowledge about technology, and they would probably find something useful for them in terms of it's not only like exchanges and Bitcoin, it's more. So yeah, I guess people are scared of our industry of Web3 at all, because they think like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, and those crypto is something for black market, for support some bad things, and also for casinos, bettings, and yeah, that's a huge problem. And I guess market will be divided for two like categories. One is like uh, developing and working in the industry. So development, doing finances, doing marketing, doing design. It will be like expert in this area. This will be a lot of people, like millions of people. But other most like mass adopted user, they will consider about it like some speculative stuff and some apps in their phones that they can purchase or sell something. That's it. We will not have a resolution for it, on my opinion.
Now let's talk about your company. What are the most important criteria by which you choose projects for work? And tell me more about your projects if you can share some information.
Basically, the criteria number one, client should not be directly from Russia. So that's important stuff
Yes.
at the moment, and other blocked countries. So yeah, that's the first. The second is if we see it's a scam or something that would take people's money to I believe in karma, so we do not really want to grade our karma out. So, like it's not about scam. Also, we don't like honestly saying stupid ideas. We don't like things when people bring in something on the paper uh, and they don't understand Web3, crypto, blockchain, nothing about this industry. They get their money from offline business, bring in there and saying like, hey, we have huge idea, develop it. We're starting to explain in it like, yeah, listen, it's not possible. These things is not supported. These things, we have limitation here and there. Your idea of your token utility, tokenomic, and it's like, it will not work. We're doing first of all, we have separate service as a blockchain consultancy, but on our very first calls, we spend a lot of time with the client with the free consultancies to just understand needs and adjust the vision. So, and we don't like really when clients says like, hey, it's not because we bring stupid idea, but that's because you really not unable to do this. And then they spend 1 or 2 months to go to other companies, having the same feedback and get back to us and say like, okay, what did you propose? And yeah.
Do nothing, please.
Yeah, just do nothing, man. But yeah, I'm not that. Yeah, basically, I like people which brings their ideas to the world. I'm about technology. I'm about inspiration, ideas, startups. But I want people to understand that there is other rules, separate rules, and you should learn. You should learn a lot or you should rely on partners which already have those knowledge. So we are those partners. So yeah, I guess that's main three criteria we take. And also we have some limited knowledge of some technologies. I mean, we're not working with, for example, move language, or we do not work with Rust for Solana. Rust for Near, yes, but Rust for Solana, no. So we do not take anything that we cannot develop because we cannot promise a good result. We can learn, we can teach, we can do, but yeah, I do like that. I like to work on things that we can bring in the highest quality. So that's why we do not take EOS, VAX like 1 year ago when it was still popular. But yeah, so basically, I guess that's it. Those criteria is quite simple. Like, do not do what you can't do. Do not work with bad people. Do not work with stupid people. But I cannot say stupid. It's really bad word. I say like do not work with people which don't want to listen what you want to propose and make things better. So yeah, so that's our main rules.
So, you said about 15 people in your team. How do you hire people? And are you looking for ready-made experienced developers or you learn them in process?
Okay, basically how we hire. That's quite simple. We have people from Ukraine, so we Ukrainian-based team. We currently not all in Ukraine. We are all around the world, in Europe, in Australia, United States, Ukraine, but in most of our team is still in Ukraine. So we hire originally only Ukrainian employees. How we hire? We're using services which is popular in Ukraine, like Doe, Genie, and others. So that's quite simple default HR strategy, and also LinkedIn. Yeah. The criterias and the initial knowledge. That's a good question because there's not that much people from Web3 space which is available on the market. That's the problem because we outsource company. An outsource company cannot propose as much hourly rate or monthly salary for developers as product company can, because product companies, they don't have these margins. They just hire people and just working. So for example, you can take a good expert for $50 per hour from the market, but you still should have a margin. So your client should pay you around 100, and it's difficult, especially when you're small at the moment. So that's why those people working with us, good experts, is working with us, but that's taking more time to explain them that they have other advantages to working inside our company, because we have interesting projects, we have like extensive growing. You can have your own roadmap of personal growth, because that's from that point we move into other way. How we doing is we taking major Web3 developers and growing them to seniors and leaders, or we taking people not from Web3 space, but I've created a personal growing plan, which takes 3-4 months of extra time, like 2-3 hours per day, to learn and teach to become a Web3 developer. In terms of, you can do a front end for Web3, you can do a back end for Web3, and you can write smart contracts. So we have two things: we hiring people from the market if we can, or we growing it inside, which I've personally created a growing plan. So I guess
like
that's it.
mentorship plan. And
Yeah. I'm not mentoring my own, but we have already leaders and manager leaders that they mentoring people inside. So yeah.
And which questions do you ask people on reviews? I mean, on your meetings with the newcomers?
Our process for now is that we created a job on some platform, that they put their cover letter. We contacting them in like LinkedIn or Telegram or whatever, and then we sending them a link with our like simple questionnaire to understand next things, like how do you see yourself in the next 3-5 years? How do you see yourself in the next 5 years in our company? What is your base knowledge about crypto and the blockchain? Do you think it's promising area or not? What's your salary expectation? What's your background? What's your hobbies and interests? So we're trying to understand the whole image of the person in a small questionnaire. And then if we see that at all points we have met with our match, yes. So then we proposing other stage, which is already a technical interview. And if technical interview passed, I'm meeting my own with person like for 10-15 minutes to just understand who is this, to meet each other, to explain a little bit, to answer like organizational questions. And after all these criteria, we're hiring people. And it's important for us because we do not growing only in weeds. I mean, we do not hire and hire and hire. We're trying to bring two things. First is a friendship, and a second is working atmosphere. So in our, honestly saying, I'm not asking anyone to overtime, but every developer and every manager, everyone in the team, in average working 210 hours per month. So if we have default 168 per month, so they overworking for the whole week, because they like what they do, and because our leaders having those motivational things like, hey, we all bringing good projects to the world, we're doing it cool technical stuff, we like our job, and we're trying to teach each other, we're trying to study a lot. So yeah, the working position and a friendship, I guess that's our main things we have in the company.
How do you think, is it enough education on Web3, and what are your predictions or expectations about Web3 education?
Web3 education, there is more than enough information in the internet, in the whole internet, but unfortunately it's not well structured. People losing interest quite quick, because in most of educational stuff for Web3, there's a lot of difficult terminologies, there is no incentive stuff, there is no motivation. There is no, like support messages. It's also difficult to find a good community, not guys which is doing crypto and speculatives, but people which really brings a value. Like it's really becoming impossible to find a really good, for example, mentor or even YouTube channel for marketing. So I guess your channel is one of the first ones. I guess I've seen few.
No, it's not the first, but I think on Ukrainian market and from Ukrainian host, I think it's the first. Yes.
Yeah. So, but in any case, it's not that much channels at all about the marketing. For development, it's a lot, but that's thanks to Indian guys because they recording educational stuff every second. I guess they have a factory for it. But yeah, in general, information not structured, boring, no incentive, no rewards, no motivation, and it's difficult. A lot of terminology, no mentorship, no community, but you still can learn something. But you need to have someone around you to make it possible. Yeah. And if it's promising, I guess there's a lot of good projects appears on the market about education, but they still, I don't like this idea how it's working with those huge enterprises, certifications, all this. How to explain? This Microsoft certifications, for example. This is boring, strong certifications, which is issued by some institutional staff, which is mostly not gamified, not interesting, boring, but it gives you a good piece of paper, which makes you a good expert, but it's still absolutely not interesting. I pass it in a previous, for my language, some Microsoft agreements, but it was super difficult in terms of information. It's really boring, absolutely. So I don't like those. I like apps like Duolingo, for example, for learning English, or so something gamified, something simple, something that you can bring in your pocket and just to learn. And especially if it's such complex thing like Web3, but Web3 for me associated with something futuristic, animated, like something with the cool mechanisms on it. So it's not possible to learn about those things in a boring way. You cannot correlate it. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with you. How do you educate yourself?
My favorite educational type of education is YouTube channels, because I'm taking information very good by hearing. I'm not that visual guy. I'm most about like hearing podcasts, hearing videos, like not even watching. I just put it background and here we go. So live examples, podcasts, like AMA sessions, calls. That's what I like. That's my favorite. Also, I like those gamified processes, but for Web3, I never seen any good app with a gamified way to teach you Web3 or some mechanics. So when I go to some difficult DeFi protocol, which explains like the like really strong and difficult math, you see and you cannot understand. I have a technical background, some financial background, and I cannot understand it from the first touch. So, but if they had a chance to explain it in some simple images, animations, simple words, that must be better than, and I cannot even imagine how it's for other people. If it's difficult for the person which is like a lot of years at this area, so what we can talk about mass adoption or just a regular user. So, yeah. So I guess YouTube is the main channel.
Do you think does developer need to build a personal brand, and do you spend your time for building your personal brand, for example?
I never thought about it before the last year, but I see the huge trend about the self-brand. It's not only for developer, but it's all around. And firstly, I was thinking like, hey, the first brand, it takes a lot of time. It's boring. It's not my special. I'm a technical, blah, blah. But now I started to realize that it's a really, because people trust people.
Yes.
If I build my personal brand, and for developer, especially for company owner, it's important because people can 100 times trust your company and your expertise, but they should see the face, and this face should be proven on by other famous things and by some conferences, some companies. And that's what bring me to start working on it. And basically yesterday I had a call with some team which is working on PR and self-brand for IT entrepreneurs and other digital entrepreneurs. And basically I'm waiting for offer from their end, and we will be starting negotiating, because I'm really I really see that it's really the best way to bring more leads to our company and to bring eventually a good projects to be alive. And yeah, and also as my expertise, we haven't had in our company any sales department for the whole year, and we've been working only based on my personal network and partnerships with other companies. So no outreach, no inbound, outbound, no traffic, nothing, only network and partnerships. And because those people trusted me, we built for them good projects. And that's what brings me to the point that I need to grow my personal brand. And I'm a developer, so basically, yeah, answering your question, you should not build your personal brand if you don't understand your goals.
Yeah.
So do not do this because you should do this because you see a roadmap and the goals. My goal to bring more projects, high quality projects to the real life, to the Web3. We can do this with our team, and we can build my personal brand in order to make this happen. If you understand your goals, then do this. Definitely. It can be whatever, but if you understand the plan, if you have a strategy, just do. Just do.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm sure that the best the best work experience is the best recommendation and best chance to get new client. So it's rule.
Yeah.
It's not a rocket science. It's
Yeah.
life rule.
Yeah.
So, talking about rest, how do you rest if you have time to rest, and what recharges you? So, I know you had a cat, a dog, a parrot. Tell me more, please, about your hobbies and your pets.
I have a whole zoo in my flat. Yeah, basically, yeah, that's true. I have a Frenchie as a dog, and also some Scotland cat, and like a default parrot. So, but yeah, how I relax first is I'm playing basketball. Um, I used to play basketball for last 12 years, but yeah, so I've been training in a university, playing for some university team, and participated in street ball challenges and in amateur league. So kind of, I used to play and train like every day except Sunday, sometimes twice a day. But then when I bring to the place where I am right now, I don't have that much time to spend on it, and I also don't have such good physical conditions as I had before. So yeah, I'm playing basketball once per week with the guys from the crypto space in my city, and yeah, that's the good thing to relax and to remind myself that I'm still in the game, I'm still in the play. Also, I'm meeting with friends, spending time with my girlfriend. We traveling a lot, mostly around the Europe. Not never been in the United States or Asian countries, but we have it in the roadmap. After all things we land that we have now,
Yeah.
but yeah, but yeah. So most of the time I'm spending time with my girlfriend, with some friends, with some colleagues, and playing basketball, smoking shisha, as I told that. Yeah, and what else to say? I'm watching a lot of videos on YouTube, not for only study, but to just to grow in general my science. I'm doing meditations. I'm doing some yoga. I'm working with how this like a soul mentor, working with some psychologist, trying to grow myself mentally. Yeah, so I guess that's it. That's the base. Yeah, I also like this Chinese tea. I like pu'er and as
I
other
also,
green
yeah,
green teas, and also some mint teas. So I like teas a lot.
yeah.
Do not drink coffee. Yeah. But yeah, by the way, it's strange for a IT guy to do not drink coffee, because I was really addicted to coffee for a lot of years, but already it's 4 years how I'm not drinking coffee at all, because a lot of IT guys like drinking 5 to 10 cups of coffee every day, and
No,
it's
it's crazy. It's
it's
crazy.
crazy. I remember those times. I used to drink that much coffee. I used to smoke and also playing basketball every day, and it was huge. But I was so young and so
Yeah,
sportish.
you was young.
Yeah. Now it's not possible. But I'm still 25. I'm still 25. That's important to notice. But no, not at that time. Yeah. So I guess that's it. That's quite simple. Just a regular
Yeah.
life.
Great, thank you very much. And the last question, what advice can you give to people who want to enter Web3 or want to become Solidity developers? So you can recommend everything you want to share.
First thing, if you want to be the part of Web3 in terms of become some expert in some area, whatever, development, marketing, finances, design, whatever, even meta building, because on some project that we built, there is already a position when you can be hired to construct metaverse buildings and to organize events on it. So that's interesting. So anything that, if you is talking in terms of become an expert, first determine your strong sides before choosing anything. Determine your strong sides. If you cannot sit on computer in a code, do not go in development. Everyone talking like, hey, developers earning a lot, they just spending time on computer, no physical work. If it's not yours, it's not yours. Do not waste your talent for things because anyone around saying that it brings you a lot of money. Determine your strong side, be inspired of it, and it will bring you even more. At least you will be happy. So the first, if you're good in communication, go to be or HR or sales manager or business development manager, or like whatever which is connected to communications. Be representative of venture fund, whatever. But if you can spend time on computer and code, you have a logical set of mind, go to computer. If you feel you creative, if you feel you think advanced, but you do not do design, go to marketing, try yourself here. And yeah, feel your strong side, then investigate a lot. Spend 1, 2, 3 weeks to try everything and understand what's yours and what's not yours. And only after that, make a decision about what's your future, because it's your life. And yeah, about Web3 especially saying, so you should understand the basics. You should understand base terms like what is the decentralization, what's the blockchain itself, which protocols are most famous, investigate the market, investigate trends. And then if you're a technology guy, go to technology. If you are marketing, go to marketing things. I mean, like you should, if you are marketing, you don't need to know Solidity at all, because I have some people in the team which is working as a lead generators, and they asking, hey, can you give us a link to some course for work on Solidity, because we need to know more. I'm saying like, hey guys, the basis you understand, what is the blockchain, what is the like cryptocurrency, and so that's enough for your work. You don't need to know Solidity to sell to your clients at all.
Yeah.
So do what you should do by your inspiration, by your strongest sides. And of course, create account on some exchange, purchase some tokens, hold it, just to give a try to understand those market, and investigate and give a try a lot. That's only I can suggest.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I think it was great conversation. I got fun a lot, so I hope our watchers and our listeners also will have fun. So guys, I will share the links to Mykhailo's social media below this video, and please follow him and follow Blockchain Marketing channel, because I'm sharing good and quality information. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.
See you guys. Thank you.